What is going on, guys? My name is Bamboos, and welcome to another story time episode. I haven't done one of these forever. It was like literally one of the very first videos I did on my channel was I told you guys a story about how me and a buddy fucked up this guy's field. I ended up having to do some shit. It was a funny story. Got a decent amount of views. But I was just sitting at work the other day like, God damn, what the fuck can I do for some content? Because motherfucker knows I need to upload something. And this just hit me. I just instantly started laughing because this shit. All right, let's start the story. Let's rewind the clock back to like 2016, my homecoming year, 2016. I'm a junior in high school, and I found this girl to ask out to homecoming. I asked her out. Homecoming's that night. I'd been begged my grandparents for weeks before homecoming to let me borrow their new Mustang. I don't know exactly what year it is. I'll put a picture of it in the video so you guys can see what it is. My grandparents had just bought that, and I begged them for weeks to let me borrow it for homecoming. And finally, my grandpa, he's like, fuck no, you're not driving that thing fucking homecoming, you fucking retard. But my grandma, my grandma's soft on me. She loves me. What can I say? I'm her favorite grandchild. My brother's a fuck up. But anyways, my grandma finally says yes. Homecoming day, I drive that Mustang to the lady's house that I took to homecoming, and I pick her up in the Mustang. It was fucking lit as fuck. And I just, when you got a nice car, that you're gonna get some fucking pussy that night, boys. And that was my whole goal. I went out that night planning to get pussy. I knew it was going to happen, and I was glad it was happening. Now, keep in mind, this was a few years back. This was like 2-3 years ago. Do you guys remember that clown shit that fucking happened a few years ago where everyone was terrified of clowns walking around murdering people? Yeah, this was around that fucking time, okay? And it really had not much had happened in my city. Jesus Christ, I can't talk, but we're only doing one take. Not much happened in my city in terms of like clowns. No one fucking died. There was one rumor of some stabbing going on, and there was a guy who dressed up as a clown outside the high school trying to be funny. Motherfucker almost got shot, but that's a different story for a different day. So anyways, keep in mind that while this story is happening, it was a clown shit going on. Everyone thought clowns were out to take over the country and murder everybody. So finally, homecoming night comes around. I get the car, I get the woman, and we head out to homecoming. We get to my high school at about 7 o'clock. We're there. We go in. We got to take our pictures. We got to go in the little photo booth. I got to ease her into it. If you're out there, my whole goal that night was to get pussy. So I got to ease her into it. I got to, yeah, baby girl, let's go take some photos. Let's make it a night to remember. Oh, fuck me. One take. So anyways, we get our photos done. And we were at the dance from maybe about 7 o'clock to 9. And that was actually pretty long for me. I was like, we were out on the dance floor. We were doing our thing. I met some guys. I met up with some of my boys that I knew that were out there and with their girls. And they were like, yo, you got the car, nigga? And I was like, yeah, I got the car, bro. And they were like, oh, shit, you getting some pussy tonight? And I was like, fuck, I hope so. But the girl didn't want to leave the dance. Like, we were sitting there. Finally, I got her to leave. It was like 9 o'clock. It didn't end until like midnight. It was a long-ass fucking dance for some reason. We got there at 7. We left at about 9 o'clock, which was 3 hours before the dance was supposed to end. Because she knew I had the car too. My boys were hitting me up. They're like, yo, let's just go cruise for a bit. You got this nice-ass car. Let's go cruise. I'm like, I'm trying, but I can't leave the woman here. So anyways, I eventually get her to leave. I'm like, I pull her off to the side. I'm like, yo, let's just go cruise for a bit and we'll come back later. She said, okay. So me and her go cruise. I ended up dipping the boys because she had the idea. She leans in real close and whispers in my ear as we're walking out to the car with my boys. She's like, let's go to the park. And I was like, aw, shit, you know what happens at the park. There's this park, it's kind of in the shittier side of my town, where you go there when you're too young and your mama going to yell at you for getting pussy at home. So you go to the park to get pussy at the park. So I knew what the fuck was going on. So I looked at my boys. I kind of shrugged at them. And I was like, I nodded my head. I was like, I can't breathe. You guys got to go away. So they knew what was up. So they left. They respected that. They left. Me and the woman got in the car. We head to the park. It's dark out, all right? It's fall. It was dark out by the time we got there. There were 2 entrances there. It's like the park is like on a block, right? So there's one road going horizontally and one road going diagonally. Or not vertically, I mean. So there's one entrance that leads to one road and one entrance that leads to another. So we go in and we pull into this little parking area. There's no one else there. And we can see all the way across the park. I mean, if it was bright out, it was dark. But you could see all the way across the park if it was light out. So anyways, we sit there. And we're just sitting there. We're starting to do our thing. I bend over. She's sitting on my lap. She comes over to the driver's side. She's sitting on me. And we're making out. We're doing our thing. And all of a sudden, from the other side of the park, these 2 big-ass fucking lights turn on. Like, I couldn't tell what it was. I knew it was a car. But it looked different because I didn't realize it till later that it was 2 trucks that had like the headlights on the top. There's fucking rednecks all over in my town that like to have those big ass fucking light bars on their trucks for some fucking reason. So these two big-ass lights come on, and they come speeding through the road that leads to the park, and it's kind of windy, so I see them winding all around the park, speeding their ass here, and I was like, oh shit, we gotta go. So she gets in the seat, I hop in, I start the car, I put this bitch in reverse, and I pull up to the stop sign, ready to turn onto the main street, and in my mind, I don't know why I stopped, or why I didn't just go. I think it was because I thought it was maybe like park security or something, like the park was closed, and I didn't want to get in any legal trouble for just dipping out of there. So I thought, okay, if it's a park cop or something, we'll just tell them that we didn't know the park was closed or some shit. I mean, it's just a fucking city park, so I don't know why I thought that they would have security hanging around there. And let alone two fucking cops coming at me that fast. So anyways, I'm sitting there, and she's like, why aren't you going anywhere? Why? Go. And I was like, just hold the fuck up. I looked at her, I was like, shut the fuck up and let me do my thing. So we sat there, and the trucks come pulling up behind us. I can tell the truck in front. I'm looking through the rearview mirror. So is she. She's like looking through her mirror. I'm looking through the left mirror, the driver's side mirror. And out of the driver's side mirror, I see a guy in the very back of the truck lean his head out. Like he's in the tailgate. He leans out, and in his left hand he was holding something, and he's got a fucking clown mask on. I shit you not. And then immediately I can see in his left hand he like taps it against the truck. It's a fucking baseball bat. I have never fucking hauled ass so goddamn fast in my life. I think I burned off like half the tire with how fast I peeled out that bitch. I peeled the fuck out. I didn't expect them to follow me, but they fucking followed me. One truck did. One truck didn't come, or at least I don't know what happened to the second truck. I never saw it. But one truck, the truck that was in front, fucking hauled ass behind me. And fucking, I'm yelling at the girl. I'm like, yo, get on the fucking phone. Call the police. Because I thought I was going to get fucking murdered, okay? You know, I usually don't go to the police, but when you think you're going to get fucking murdered, that's about the only choice you got. All right? You got to remember, I was in a 2016 mindset. As far as I know, there's fucking clowns running loose all across the country killing people. All right? You got to keep that in mind. My phone was dead. Her phone was at 2%, I remember. And she had a shitty-ass phone. It was like a fucking prepaid phone or whatever. So I knew that battery was not quality and wasn't going to last. So she's on the phone with the cops. And I'm hauling ass down this city street at like 85 miles per hour in like a 35-mile speed zone. And she's on the phone with the cops, and I could hear it. She had it on speaker, or it was real loud or some shit, because I could hear what he's saying. And she's telling him where we're going. And he's like, just get to a public place, like yelling. Like the operator is fucking yelling at this woman to get somewhere. Like he was scared for our lives. So he's yelling at her to get somewhere. I'm yelling at her to fucking tell me where to go. I tell her, I'm like, call a cop, tell him I'm going to be at McDonald's on 2nd Street. She's like, or I don't know why the fuck I said call the cop. She was on the phone with the fucking cops. Ugh, I'm fucking stupid. Anyways, she's on the phone with the cops. She's like, we're going to the McDonald's on 2nd Street. And so to get there, I had to take a right. I came up to a red light, and I was like, what do I do? And she told the officer, she's like, we're at a red light. What do we do? And he said, fucking run it. So I ran this red light. I didn't really run through it. Just my mindset, I guess, because I was at a red light, and I needed to go, was to turn right? So I turned right at this red light, didn't stop or nothing. I just fucking peeled right. You gotta keep in mind, we're still going like 85 miles per hour at this point in the city. I'm surprised there wasn't a cop around that just pulled us over. Just goes to show you how shitty the police department is out here. But anyways, I bang a right, and it was the worst decision I could do. Down the right that I took, down the street that I decided to turn down, is nothing but like factories, okay? So there was nobody out there at all at this time of night. It was pitch black. I'm hauling ass through this like little like, I'll show a picture on screen of what it kind of looks like if I can find one. It was just fucking nothing but factories. There's no one out there. There's no street lights. It's nothing. I'm just hauling ass through here. But what I got to do is I got to get out to the next street and take a right to get to the McDonald's. So I knew I had to get there because the McDonald's was like a few blocks right of where we were at. So I had to turn right to get there. So anyways, I'm going down. Luckily, some shit didn't happen, but it happened on that dark street because no one would have found our fucking bodies. But anyways, the truck was still behind me, and it was a big-ass fucking truck, and we're just hauling ass. Eventually, I get to a stoplight. Once you get all the way past the factories, you take another right onto a main road because it's like, it's in between two main roads. It connects two main roads, but no one ever uses this because it's factory shit. It's just it's not residential or nothing. So anyways, we're hauling through there, and goddamn, what happened after that? So I come up to the red light. I have to turn left to go to the McDonald's where I told the officer I'd be. And the truck behind me, so I'm in the left-hand lane getting ready to just haul through this light. And the truck that was following me finally veers off, and he starts turning right. And I look at the guy, and we make eye contact for at least about 4 seconds before he dips a right. And I saw him. This motherfucker was so stupid, okay? He had a custom license plate on his truck out here doing this shit. I can't even make this up. He was so fucking stupid to have a custom license plate. I still recognize it to this day. I'm not going to say what it was, but I know what it was to this day. It was so stupid. It was like his last name and then the word go. It was like go, his last name, go. He had a real short last name. So anyways, I know it. I didn't know the guy, but I recognize his license plate, and now I know who he is. So anyways, I dipped a left. I end up at the McDonald's, and as we pull into the McDonald's, there was no cop waiting for us. But a little quick side story. When we pulled in, there was a bunch of kids smoking pot in the parking lot. And I get out, in this nice-ass car. My girl's in a dress with high heels on looking all fine. I'm in my button-up looking all good. And there's just these kids just sitting there smoking pot in the parking lot, eating chicken nuggets. I'm like, yo, y'all might want to dip. The cops going to be here in a sec. And they're like, oh, shit. And they all hopped in their cars. They were out of there so fucking fast. The cop comes up. He talks to us for a little bit. Once he finally got there, he pulls in. Apparently, they pulled over the truck, but he didn't tell me much more besides that. He said they pulled over the truck. They have the guy. I told him his cousin's license plate. He said, yeah, it matches the description, and the license plate just verified it. And anyways, the cop tells us it was past curfew at this point, and I was 16, so really, I think my city wants me. I'm supposed to be not be driving past curfew. And I told him, I was like, yeah, we were just heading home. And he's like, oh, what were you doing at the park then? And I was like, I looked at him, and he kind of looked at me. He gave me a little grin, and I knew he knew what was up. He was a pretty chill cop. He knew what was up. He knew what I was at the park trying to do. So anyways, after that, I was so damn scared. But I ran home. I didn't run home. He let us go. He said, go straight home because I was out past curfew. He didn't get me in trouble for that. He just said, go straight home. So I went straight home with my girl. And man, we fucking sat up all night. Baseball bats at the ready. I actually had my house is like, it's a pro gun house. We have guns everywhere. We had our AR out. We were ready to go if these clowns were trying to pull up. So, little side story after that. Nothing else happened that night. I thought I was going to get murdered. But the next day at school, I'm telling my guys about this. No, I think it was a Saturday. So, it was like Monday at school, whatever. I was telling my boys about this, and they're like, well, what was his license plate? And I told him the license plate, and one guy, he gets on Facebook, and he looks. The guy's truck was his profile picture, and the license plate matched. So, I was like, oh, my God, I know that guy. He goes to the alternative. He was a senior at the time. I was a junior. He went to the alternative school that was like across the street from the main high school. He went to the school where like when they know your ass isn't smart enough to graduate, they send you there. It's terrible. But anyways, they send people over there. So me and my boys, we all got together. I'm not trying to self-incriminate myself or nothing, but his truck ended up having a few extra scratches. And apparently some guys that knew him talked to me about it, and they said that what he told the cops when he got pulled over, apparently they ditched all the masks and stuff and threw them out when they were chasing us. But apparently he told the cops that he was trying to look for clowns. He was clown hunting instead of being a clown and hunting us, because he was fucking hunting our ass that night. Man, that's legit one of the scariest. That probably was the scariest moment of my life, was when I legit thought I was going to be murdered for a second when I turned down that dark road and was going down by those factories. That is the scariest moment of my life. That is when I honest to God, thought I could die that night. It was terrifying as fuck. And like a month later, the clown thing blew over. It's like literally not even a thing anymore. You don't ever hear about that anymore. But at the time, that was my clown experience. It was fucking terrible. Man, that's the story I like to tell now. I got all sorts of stories, but that's just one of them that I like to tell. I got stories for days if you guys want to hear more. And I like making them. It's kind of an easy content to make. Just record some gameplay. Which, if you're curious what you're seeing on the screen right now, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. This is Rainbow Six Siege Outbreak. It's their temporary zombie mode. It's going away here in a few days, so I figured I'd hop on and play a little bit, because I don't play as much Siege anymore as I'd like. It's a pretty fun mode. Check it out if you want. It's a free mode if you own the game, if you own Rainbow Six Siege. So anyways, guys, that is the time. That's the scariest moment of my life. That's the time I honestly thought I was going to be murdered. Thank you all for watching. I got stories for days if you want to hear more stories. I'll see y'all on the next episode.